Pre-delivery movements, or trigger movements, sometimes as they're known, is again very unique to you as an individual. But what a pre-delivery movement is and a trigger movement is, it is a series of things you do before the ball is bowled to allow you to get in the best physical ready position to be able to move forward and back and back. What your trigger will want you to do is, yes, be ready, and yes, you want to be going forward and back and you want to be in that ready position, but you need to make it consistent and repeatable. There's no point having a trigger movement that isn't going to allow you to get into the same technical position before the ball is released every time. Now, as I said, there's many different triggers. For me personally, when I used to play, I used to bat on middle stump. I found standing still quite hard to do. And I used to trigger back and across into this ready position here. I felt this position here allowed me to go forward, and it allowed me to go back as quickly as possible, and also it allowed me to trigger my back foot onto off stump and my front foot onto middle to allow me to hit 360 degrees. I did try batting still. I found I got stuck. I did try a forward press. There's many things you can do and try. But from side on, I found my ready position was something like this. I found that it was a position that allowed me to access the whole of the cricket pitch, forward, back, different lengths against spin, and it was really good. I couldn't start in that position and wait for the bowlers to come in because I felt I wasn't ready. So I decided to trigger to get myself ready into this position. What that allowed me to do was physically and mentally get ready to be able to hit the ball. Now, you know, there could be a number of triggers. You could go front foot, you could just pick your hands up as a cue. But when you have a trigger, you have to remember a couple of key things. One, it has to be repeatable, because if it's not repeatable, you're not going to be moving to the same position and playing from the same position every time. It has to be consistent, and that will come from the repeatability of it, being able to replicate the same thing over and over again. And lastly, you have to be able to do it for a long period of time, and you have to be able to do that for when you bat for the whole game or whole innings you're out there for. Now, if you have a trigger, brilliant. Just remember what your ready position is, what's your most effective way to move forward and back, and make sure your trigger movements are concise. So the best way to do that is to get someone to film you when you're playing really well in the nets or in a game, and then have that on your phone, on your laptop, on your iPad, whatever it may be, so you can refer back to it. Every now and then, go and get someone to film it and see if your trigger movements are still up and still in alignment. It's really important that these basic movements are as consistent as possible. If they're not, then it's going to affect your whole batting. But again, a trigger movement is just something to get you ready to be able to hit the ball. And a trigger movement, you have to be ready and still before the bowler's bowled. If you trigger when the bowler's moving in, like this, you're going to be all over the place when you bat, and you're not going to be able to get a stable base to hit the ball from. So it's really important that you're concise, they're repeatable, they're consistent, and they're in and ready before the bowler has released the ball. So that will give your eyes and your head the best chance of hitting the ball. So yeah, there's no one fits all. It's whatever is comfortable for you to get you moving as quickly and efficiently as possible.